Welcome to week 10. Week 10, can you believe it? So, what does week 10 offer you that no other week has? Well, we have something new today, so I urge you to pay attention to the details because Reaper is on the hunt for anyone not paying attention to what's going to be discussed in this. Now, why am I starting with the photo bay and this sign up for a newsletter? I have encouraged you from almost the beginning to begin collecting resources for whatever your chosen field is. And those of you who are in motion or function might be thinking, oh, this doesn't apply to me. I'm sorry. How could you think that? This same business model that's being used here by the photo bay is being used by companies who do provide resources for animation or code. I want you to understand that you need to stretch out beyond your computer and join whatever creative community will support your ambitions in the Mac Lab this year. Now, because most students are in the Forum Guild, that's where I typically focus. Now, so what's the big deal about signing up for the photo bay? Well, this is one of dozens of free, high-quality stock sites that you can sign up for. And I've done that. So I'm going to jump over here to my email account. And hey, here's what I got on Saturday. And as is normally the case, I look at some of these pictures and think, when will I ever use that? So I don't download everything I see. But I did see this and say, hey, this might play into what we've been talking about. And what we've been talking about is very evident here. This was Tuesday right here, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week. Now, if you did none of these, you've missed out on feeding your imagination. And you missed out on something that was absolutely positively required. Now, what these have in common is they're quite dramatic changes in the appearance of the original image as the cat walks directly in between me and the mic. And I don't expect you to use these skill sets to always achieve the dramatic. Everything I'm showing you can be modified in order to enhance and make what you're working with look that much richer. So I want you to understand that these are important building blocks. If you have not participated, you might reconsider. I'm going to jump over to Photoshop, and this is that image. Now, I try to keep politics out of the classroom. I try to focus on our creative journey. I used this photo and I worked on it, and then I noticed, oh my goodness, there's something in this that I don't want to be seen sending a subliminal message. I'll tell you right now, there's something in this I don't particularly like. And I'll leave it at that. You can find it. It can remain a mystery. I don't care, but I want to cover my bases because I don't want to be seen as promoting this candidate. Let's just leave it at that. And for those of you who did those tutorials, you can see, hey, I got the original image. Then the single pixel row, this is not a motion blur. This is that I did the single pixel column in one of those tutorials and changed the blending mode. And then went on to curves, and the auto button in curves, this comes straight from Scott Kelby, the president of the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. And I was at Photoshop World, and he was doing one of the sessions. And as he's working his way through one image, he says, hey, here's a secret between just you and me. Don't tell anybody. But I always click auto just to see what'll happen. He said, you can always undo it, so why not? And so ever since that day, I click auto just to see what will happen. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes, not so much. And then I applied an S-curve. And an S-curve is to bring out contrast. This deepens the darks, lightens the lights, and creates more contrast than would otherwise be available. And then jumping back on the original that I duplicated from down here, and you might say, hey, you haven't shown us anything. What about this journey? How did it go? Okay, really quickly, the original, the single pixel row that was then stretched out, and if I change this blending mode back to normal from difference, you'll see what it looks like. And those of you who didn't do this, now you're saying, hey, really? Seriously? There's auto bumping that up a little bit. There's the S-curve that's giving us a little more contrast, and then dropping the original back on top. Now, what good is dropping the original back on top? I have to be on that layer for this to work. I have the Move tool right now. See down here? If I hit the letter M, I have the Marquee tool. If I hit V, I have the Move tool. And with the Move tool, I can cycle through blending modes with Shift and plus. And, you know, the equal sign's also there. You're going to see equal. And cycle through these blending modes in order to see, hey, what works, what doesn't work. And again, this is a very dramatic effect. That's kind of cool. But regardless, what I'm trying to convince you of is the need to experiment. One experiment I want to conduct today, now we're getting to the point of where you need to pay attention, is the week 9 DPE had greater expectations for your documentation. We've been ramping up what it is I want you to achieve. And what I want you to achieve is visible if you go on the stats page and go to the leaderboard in different periods, maybe turn them all on, and look at those students who are atop the leaderboard. And yes, there are some pretenders there. We're not hunting today. You're looking for examples of great blog posts. Now, I'm not asking everyone to achieve that same level of mastery, but I am asking you to rise above the notion, hey, I had 4 bell to bells, and look what I wrote. I've got 5 sentences, so I gave it my all. Well, let's look at your 5 sentences, and in some cases, they read something similar to this. I worked really hard last week. Last week, I worked on more than one project, and I worked really hard on those projects. And I think I deserve, you gave it your all because I worked really hard and got 4 bell to bells. Now, I urge you to go back and look at what is being requested, and there's a combination of quantity and quality. But if one is more important than the other, quality obliterates quantity when quantity is simply trying to fill space, being a kid, trying to type sentences so it looks like you've written more than you actually have. So for today, and today only, we have amnesty. There's no hunting and healing. Anybody who tries to hunt, Reaper's Reward on the spot. Call them on it. Scotch, go. This guy tried to hunt me. Yeah, Reaper will pounce. Okay? Because that kid's not paying attention. What a shock. I want you to improve your DPE for last week. Look at it. Don't go back and work on week 6 and 7 and 8. Those are gone. Those are gone. You've had the opportunity. Can you still be hunted for those? Yeah. But you fix those on your own time. Okay? I'm not wasting class time for that, but I am giving you week 9 today. The only thing that you can claim today, if you have not claimed anything, is, are you kidding me? And if you don't claim, are you kidding me, you'll be hunted for that, and you'll have to claim it anyways and claim a hunted. So that's a losing proposition. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right, I'm going to go back to working on week 10, and you're going to go back to working on your week 9 in order to improve your DPE so you can protect yourself against tomorrow's hunt. And believe me, the hunters will be set loose tomorrow, but only those hunters who have quality and quantity in their DPE entries. Got it?